this is Russ. Hey, we're doing a ride on the North Branch Trail here. Well, actually, we're in the Morton Grove, Illinois area. We're gonna head towards the Botanic Garden. So I want to introduce to you real quickly a new friend, but from an old friend. Yeah, he's a cousin of a guy I went to high school with. And I mentioned to you guys before that he along with another high school friend and my brother and I, every quarter of the year we get together for a lunch. So in fact, we're doing another one in a couple of days. But his cousin Stuart has been after me for the last probably 3 years, asking if we do a ride together, and I just haven't been able to do it. So today is the day. So this is Stuart. Say hi.
Hello. Hey there, guys.
Tell us your the name of your channel too, because he has a YouTube channel too.
eBike Ski Bum. I only have lectric bikes on there.
Okay.
And I've had it up for about 3.5, 4 years. When lectric first started out, when they had only one bike.
Okay.
Their Discover One offering.
All right. Well, Stuart has eBike Ski Bum as a YouTube channel, so check that out. Let me check out his bike here, because he brought a bike all the way from Texas. So let me see. Well, since my mic is on me here, you'll have to stand closer to me here so we can hear. Tell us a little bit about what your bike is.
It's an Evelo Atlas. It has a Bafang M600 mid-drive motor, and it has a carbon belt drive. It does not have any sprockets, a cassette, or a derailleur, which is really nice when you're on a big bike tour. You go 300-400 miles. You don't have to worry about cleaning your chain or your sprocket, or if you bump something and mess up your derailleur, kind of thing, which can happen often.
How many miles do you think you have on the bike right now?
I've got about 9,000.
9,000 miles,
yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. I just put a new mountain bike fork on there to get a little better suspension there, and
yeah, cool. It's got everything on there. Oh, and he's got
I've got a rear view
camera.
Got my
Garmin there,
and a backup light. It comes with a really nice bright light, but always have a strobe if I'm riding on the street at any time or at night.
All right, let me show you what I'm riding here today. So today I'm riding the Magicycle Ocelot Pro 2.0, and I have on the rear rack a spare battery. I've got a bike pump in there too. I got some slime in there in case we need it for emergency purposes. So yeah, so we're gonna go out and ride this trail. So off in the distance there, you'll be able to see it. But we've done this before where I've gone to the Botanic Garden, but I've ridden from my home to the Botanic Garden. It takes about 62 miles from the way I do it. But this time I said the best thing for us to do is really just to ride it on our own, straight from Morton Grove. So it shouldn't be more than, what, 22, 24 miles, something like that, I think.
Much, yeah.
Something like that.
Not
So, all right. So here's our plan of attack. I'm gonna put Stuart in front. I'll be in the back, and we're gonna do probably 15 miles an hour or less, because this trail has lots of people on it. Stuart's ridden this trail a lot. I've ridden it several times as well, so we know what we're gonna do, and we'll stop every now and then, so we can talk and do whatever. But current time right now is about 9:15ish, and is the day before July 4th, so July 3rd. All right, we'll keep going, because we're currently on the parking lot area. So I was debating which bike I would take today, and decided I would take the Ocelot Pro 2.0 because I have a second battery for it. Not that I think we're gonna need the second battery, but it never hurts to have one. Stuart has a backup battery as well on his. So I'm looking at my battery meter here. It says 82%. I don't know how long it's been since the last time I had this battery charged up on here. I do have the second battery just in case I need to swap it out. I don't know how long I've had that battery either, but I'm seeing that my percentage is dropping. It's already down to 77%. What I should have done is I should have probably charged up the battery just to be safe. So we might actually need that second battery. Thing is sometimes the batteries sit on my bike, and it's a while before I take the bikes out again, and that could of course cause some self-drainage and things like that going on. So he's got a bell, some type of horn, sounds like almost. It's not really a horn, it's kind of like a bell horn. I don't know what that is, but I can hear it from a distance here. So the weather's going to get a little bit warmer. Last I looked, it was like 82 degrees. I think it's going to go up to 90 something, low 90s today or something. But you know, as long as we keep moving, hopefully the wind will give it some relief for us. Yeah, battery shows 70% already. I don't know what the deal is. All right, we'll lower our pedal assist levels here. Trying to decide which is the best pedal assist level to stay at. Maybe around pedal assist 5 or 6. Now I have mine set up for 9 levels of pedal assist. So that is different from what most folks would have. But I like those in between numbers, so I can you know, easily jump from one small minute change to another minute change if I want to. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of nice to have another person in front. I don't do a whole lot of rides with other people, as you know, and the reason it's very difficult for me to do so sometimes, to meet up with people and then also do a video at the same time. But again, Stuart has he's got his own little channel going on as well, so he was okay for me recording him on here. So over to our right are some horse stables. Usually during the summer you can tell because you can smell it. So interestingly, like I mentioned, his cousin and I have known each other since, I think, at least maybe sophomore year of high school, something like that. And yeah, we've kept in contact, although we kind of lost contact with him after college, or during college. We didn't know what happened to the guy. Yeah, kind of disappeared, and we didn't know how to find him. And then my other buddy, who we have lunch with all the time, he ran into another guy who had a shirt on with the same last name on the back of the shirt, t-shirt. So he happened to just ask him, "You don't happen to know this guy, do you?" He goes, "Oh yeah." I don't know if that was Stuart who said that or whoever, but that's how we got reconnected with him. And ever since then, we've been going to lunch for our birthdays. Like I said, every quarter of the year, one of us has a birthday going on. So we have another birthday one coming up. It's not his cousin's birthday, but the other friend's birthday. So I'll be meeting up with him, with them, in a couple of days. So yeah, I'll fill him in on how the ride went. I don't think this video will come out until after we've had the lunch with them. So anyway, Stuart's been trying to get a hold of me for probably 3 years now to get a bike ride together when he comes back into town. And I've never been able to do it. Every time he's come in, I've had something going on that I just couldn't do it. In fact, even for this particular ride, we're trying to figure out when's the best time for us to do. And, you know, one date after the next is like, oh, can't do that, can't do that. So here it is, the day before the 4th of July, so on the 3rd of July, and we're out here. Yeah, definitely should have charged this battery up before taking it out. Yeah, live and learn, you know. sitting at 58%. Now, I don't know how charged up the other battery is either. It might be interesting. It might be interesting. End up having to send Stuart back and then pick me up with his car. My battery's down to 58%.
What?
I didn't charge it up.
Oh, no.
I don't know how good the second battery is either.
I'm at 100.
We may end up having to stop and swap out the battery, but we'll see. Go as far as I can, then I'll switch out to the other battery. So over here, we got to wait our turn to cross through.
And go to Kenosha.
Not with this one. Battery's half dead. I don't know why. Sometimes these bikes will do a self-discharge too.
Yeah.
So I should have checked it before I left, but I was tied up for the last couple of days and didn't check any of the bikes. Oh, can't.
Yeah.
It always throws you off. You got to wait for that crossing.
Yeah, this street you don't.
No. All right, here we go. Yeah, it seems like the sweet spot for me now is about pedal assist level 5. So I think the key is I'm going to have to do a little more pedaling today than perhaps I normally do. Yeah, it's good to have somebody in front of me hitting the horn. I don't have to do it. Okay, sometimes you do, so that they know there's a second bike coming through. So how have I outfitted the magicycle? Well, I've got the optional front basket on. I've got my side view mirror on, which I usually do. I have a cell phone mount on. I've got my 3D printed thumb throttle on the half twist throttle. I've got a bell on. Water bottle cage is on my basket. I've got a Sun Tour NCX suspension seat post on. I have a Bikeroo saddle on, and then of course I have my my second battery is sitting inside a Plano toolbox, made by a company called Plano. I always think of Plano for their fishing boxes, but they make toolboxes as well. So when I bought that toolbox, I tried to make sure that it would fit all of the different size e-bike batteries that I had. And so I could always take this on almost any bike that has a secondary battery for me. It's going to pay off today. I didn't realize this thing is that low in battery. So Stuart seems to be pretty good on his bike. He's ridden quite a few miles on it. He was telling me he was talking to a friend of his, and I guess he brought him over to Sam Cycle in Palatine. Sam Cycle is an e-bike shop, and they were taking a look at an ad motor trike. Yeah, they have quite a few of trikes in there, as well as other bikes as well. Yeah, I've known the guys at Sam Cycle for a couple of years now, I guess. They've helped me out a number of times too. You know, slight repairs, tweaks, fix this, fix that, you know. In fact, I got to bring him a bike to have the derailleurs checked out a little bit as far as setup is concerned. I could do it myself, but it's just a lot easier putting the bike up on their bike rack and then doing it that way. You know, when you don't have a bike rack and then you're trying to adjust those things by yourself, it becomes a little bit of a pain. And then when you have two guys doing it, like if he's making an adjustment and I'm cranking the I'm cranking the pedals, it makes it easier for everybody concerned. So now here, if you look at the thing, it says no motor vehicles, but obviously we have motors on here, but a lot of times when they say no more motor vehicles, we kind of think really more about, you know, gas-powered motors, really, not specifically e-bikes. Always a nice break. How are you today?
Good. I'm all right. How about you guys?
We're doing good.
All right.
It's a good day when you can get out on your bike, right?
Absolutely.
Coming down the switchbacks in Colorado, above Manitou Springs, I nearly went down.
Wow.
Ran into some gravel. It was like quicksand.
You gotta be careful.
And started to go on.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. So anyway, so far it's a pretty nice ride. We've got a good breeze hitting us, right? Can't beat that. Now this path will bring us towards the Skokie Lagoons. Then you have a couple of options, different ways you can go. You go left, it takes one way. You go right, goes another way, but eventually you end up at the same place. If you take the right, you end up at the Skokie Lagoon area. Take the left, you don't get the Skokie Lagoon area, so we'll see what Stuart chooses when we get to that point. Yeah, this overall, it's a fairly nice, easy ride. You know, if there's too many people on the path, then that's another story. So far, it hasn't been so bad. But we do see people, obviously. Anyways, there was a comment on one of my other videos where a person said that as your battery lowers down, you lose your maximum speeds. That's not really been the case for me. Granted, a more charged up battery has more capability. However, I've never really lost my speed. You might lose your range when your battery's drained down. But no, the speed's been fairly consistent for me even as I drop down. Now, if you're all the way down to the bottom, that's another story, you know. Here I am at 38%. If I wanted to do 28 miles per hour, I could still do it, but it would drain it quite a bit. All right, Stuart has made the decision to do the left side, so we will be passing the Skokie Lagoons area and leaving that behind. This is the side I usually take too, but although sometimes when I head home or head back to my car or back to the home, I'll go the other route. So I tend to do both, really. Yeah, we're not too far from the Botanic Gardens at this point. Admittedly, I've been a little bit lazy and been doing some cruise controlling here. But I think the more consistent ride of the cruise control is going to help my battery too. Going up and down in speeds is not really helpful for me at this point. So it seems like we've been averaging around 18, 19 miles per hour, something like that. So a little bit faster than the standard posted speed. But really, there hasn't been that many people on the path. I mean, if the path was really packed up with people, that'd be another story. And we've had our share of people coming through, but you know, nobody's really been anybody's real way. Oh, I have to duck a little bit. Top of my helmet hit the tree branch, even after ducking. Every time I see that, I think of the Three Stooges, where you know, one guy will go forward, pull the branch back, you know, slap the other guy with the branch. That's how my mind thinks, folks. Once a Stooge fan, always a Stooge fan. Let me know in the comments if you like Three Stooges. I find the guys usually do, the ladies not so much. They don't like that slapstick comedy, I guess. Yep, gotta duck around the branches again. All right, I see water to my right-hand side. Duck again. Ducking again. Yeah, these tree branches are really overhanging quite a bit. Now, the thing is, the magicycle bike will drag some more power out of your battery, because it's a bigger motor on here, so you're going to be using up more juice to run it. This is why I say sometimes having a bike that has less capability isn't such a bad thing. The very first time I ever did this Botanic Garden ride, I took the Rad Rover 5 out. That thing has what I believe to be a 500 watt motor that peaks at 750. It never really passed 750 on their meter. So this is why so many people think it really truly was a 500 watt motor with a 750 peak. But anyway, I brought two 20 amp hour unit pack power batteries out on it, and I was able to get there and get back. I think had that bike had a more powerful motor, even the two batteries would have had an issue. One time I went out to this ride, I took 3 batteries, and it took all 3 batteries to get there. I don't remember which bike that was. I think that was the Magicycle Cruiser. No, it wasn't a Cruiser. It was the Deer. Yeah, it's the Deer 26. So yeah, at times you like having the power, but other times you kind of think, well, maybe it's best that we have a little bit less power. You have to put a little more effort in than, you know. Currently at 32%. So yeah, this battery never stood a chance from the start. Like I said, it was already under 70% when we started out. I mean, it dropped really quick to 70, and then it kind of just went downhill from that point. I probably never charged it up, thinking that I had charged up the battery. That's my guess. I don't see something dropping that much. Always double check your battery before you leave. Yep, tell people to do that, and I forgot to do it. Well, I was tied up for 2 days. I didn't have the ability to do it. I was in another part of town. So we lost the other guy that was behind us. What happened to that guy? Maybe he tired out? I don't know. He was on a regular bike. He was not on a e-bike. Left them in the dust, like they say. All right, we're really close to where we need to be. Part of the Skokie Lagoons. It looks pretty bad in there. The water looks really bad. All right, now we got more bike riders going into the Botanic Garden. We'll pull off at the. We'll pull off by the gardens. Then I'll swap battery out.
That road biker drafting you on this way.
Yeah, he's still there. He kept going.
Good rider.
There should be a park bench up on the left-hand side, right by the pond.
Yep. Front here they got several. Cubs, go Cubs. Yeah. Cubs are having a good season.
Yeah. Well, your cousin was saying we should do a Cubs game, but nobody ever said anything after that. Okay, we are now technically in the Botanic Garden area. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the area where there's some park benches there. Then I'll swap my battery out.
Beautiful day, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Which way do we go?
To the left. Oh no, yeah, to the left.
Been here in a while.
Say again?
It's been a while since I've biked through here.
It's been about 2 years since I've been back here, I think. All right, I've taken the lead. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull off at one of the benches, swap the battery out. I don't know if we'll have time to go further or not, or whether we'll head back already, but my time is still a little bit limited today. I have a number of things I still need to do today. One of which is to get a smog check on my wife's car. They sent that to us. We have not been able to go in to bring it in. We prefer to bring it in on a weekday. It seems to be less people. You do it on a weekend, there's usually more people there. It doesn't take that long. You pull up, they do their thing, then you're out and you're gone. So, say again? Trying to hear what he said. Got that little tram ride here. Alright, I'm gonna pull over to where I usually pull over, which is right up ahead of us. There's usually some benches here. Let's go a little bit further. I think, let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, maybe that was the only one. Let's see up ahead. Let's see if there's something else we can pull over at. Let's pull over here.
Over here?
Yeah, there's a bench over here we can we could sit down at the bench for a bit, and then I can swap my battery out.
Nice views.
All right, I'm gonna. Of course, these benches look kind of. Let's move forward here. These things seem to have quite a bit of stuff on the benches. This one's a little cleaner. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off for a bit. Okay, I am back. Well, we had a nice long talk, sat down at a park bench here at the Botanic Garden, and then now we're back on the road. We're heading back now. So yeah, my battery had dropped down to like 32% or something like that. And so I swapped out the battery. Let's lower this pedal assist level here. So now I have the second battery on here. It says 100%. Let's hope it stays that way. But I'll have enough to get back, of course. It won't be an issue at this point. But yeah, I think what happened is I left the I must have left the bike uncharged, as I do sometimes. And so what happens is because I didn't check it, took it out, it was low in battery. Always check your battery before you go out on a long ride, that's for sure. But this one is one of my spare batteries that I have for the magicycle bikes, and so yeah, should do good. Anyway, I don't know what our trip was. I should really reset my trip meter. All right, I'll look at it now. According to this, it says my odometer is sitting at 156 miles. Let's make a mental note. 156 on the odometer. We'll see how many miles it is to get from here back to where we have our cars. Multiply by 2, and that's how many we rode for today. So I got things to do still today, so we can't spend too much time together. But it was good to be able to ride with Stuart and finally get to meet him. Like I said, he's the cousin of one of my best friends from high school, and so yeah, we had to get together at least once. He's been trying to get me to go bike riding with him for like 3 years now. Yeah, this is what happens when you try to get my attention. You can't get my attention half the time. All right. So anyway, I'll leave the camera running. If there's interesting things, I'll point it out. Otherwise, it's just going to be a trip back, same way we came in, I think, unless we go the other route. We'll see how he chooses. So typically over here, the gates are down, so you got to go on the side or sneak between the gates. I usually take this sidewalk thing. Okay, so we're going to go back the same way we came in. Straight ahead is the Skokie Lagoons. Yeah, look at this over here. Doesn't look too good. There's a lot of algae. I'll have to make my move. On your left. All right, so we're back behind Stuart again. Move our pedal assist level up a little bit. I've been hovering between 4 and 5 on this trip. 4 and 5 for me, let me say that, because like I said, I modify my pedal assist levels. I don't know whether these bikes now come with 9 pedal assists preset, or 7, or 5. I always change mine to 9, in case you don't know. I have a video about how to modify the advanced settings of the magicycle bikes. So many people have set theirs up the same way as mine, set the pedal assist levels the same as mine. Overall, not too bad of a day. I mean, it is a hot day, but it could have been worse. The breeze is keeping us going. Makes it a lot easier. Admittedly, one of the reasons I decided to take the Ocelot Pro with me today is because I know it has cruise control. If I need it, I got it, right? I've got multiple batteries available for the magicycle bikes. So I knew that I could take it. I knew it had a rear rack that can handle my my battery box. Yeah, I just use these straps. I just strap it around the rear rack, and then off I go. Yeah, it's paid off. I also knew that I had the suspension seat post on this bike, as well as the Bikaroo saddle that actually is a little more comfy than the other Bikaroo saddles that I bought. Some of them were kind of stiff. This one is one of the original ones that I had, and it has a better cushiness to it. So it's comfortable. Yeah, it's easy to ride with. Another reason I chose it is because being a 20-inch fat tire bike, it's more nimble. It's easier to maneuver. The last time I took out the Magicycle Deer 26-inch, it's a step-over version. It's big, it's heavy, you know. It's kind of intimidating on the bike paths sometimes. So I've decided that's not the bike to take on something like this. The 20-inch wheel bike, I think, works really nice on this type of trip. I don't have lots of 20-inch wheel bikes left. Many of them got sold, but this one works out really good, so I keep it. I sold my 20-inch Deer. I sold my 20-inch Deer 2.0. So I still have the Ocelot Pro 2.0. I sold the original Ocelot Pro when I knew the 2.0 was coming. Oh, got a duck. Yeah, that one's pretty low. And as you know, I usually stay pretty high up on the bike. My seat post is pretty high up. I go for a full leg extension. When I say full, I'm not talking, you know, totally full. You still have to have a little bit of bend, but full in the sense of proper pedaling height. If you're into regular bikes, non-electric bikes way back in the day. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's way back in the day now. I don't think I could ever go back to a non-electric bike now. I'm too used to having the e-bikes. All right, Stuart is making his move, so we will eventually do that too. But we won't do it during a curve. Better off to do it during a straightaway. Yeah, nice day. Having the breeze makes a big difference. If it didn't have the breeze on you, it would be miserable. Now, Stuart said that he's used to having the hot weather on him when he's riding his bike. Not me. I'll usually get out there when it's early or in the morning when it's cool, and then I'm done for the day. I'm not one who likes the hot weather that much. Russ does cool, not hot. So to our right, what you're hearing is actually the highway and one of the streets that run along with it. And that's why we hear so much traffic. Yeah, put a comment what you think about this ride. You know, would you do a ride like this? A lot of people have mentioned to me that we have some pretty good areas to ride in here in Illinois, and that's true. Actually, we do. We have some really good paths to go to. Okay, so the car is letting us through. in general, I find that a lot of the drivers are fairly courteous to the bike riders in our areas. Maybe in the heart of Chicago, maybe not so, but in the suburbs out here, they're pretty good. If they see you and they think that stopping will help keep you safer, they tend to do that. Still, there's always the accident that happens, right? So you always have to still be aware. All right, at the Skokie Lagoons. Skokie Lagoons, it's called. We've gone fishing out of there before. I think I may have caught one fish out of there. I've never been that lucky. I've actually done my best out on Lake Michigan. Out on Lake Michigan, we fish for salmon. Yeah, salmon's not native to the lakes, but they stock them in there. They put them in, we yank them right out. Yep, we do. Although we've had our best luck up in Wisconsin. They stock more in Wisconsin, and salmon is the type of fish that go back to where they were hatched. So if they put them in Wisconsin, they head back to Wisconsin. So that's why we have better luck up there. But the problem is you know, if you don't live in Wisconsin, you have to pay the out-of-state fishing licensing. So I think our fishing licenses back then were like $60 a year. So it's kind of hefty. This year, we just, for myself and for my fishing buddies, we just decided just to get the local fishing license. Yeah, so we can only fish in Illinois at this point. You can go to Waukegan Harbor, but I've never had any luck catching any of the fish out of Waukegan Harbor. I've tried many times, but this is before I started catching. Then one of the guys from one of the fishing forums took pity on me, told me how to properly fish for salmon, and then I started catching salmon. So there's definitely a technique you have to know in order to do well on doing it. All right, I won't keep you guys here forever. We're basically just gonna head back to our car. Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging around and watching the video as far as we did. And if you liked the video, definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the first time I've been able to get out on the North Branch Trail for this year. So it's good to go out with Stuart. I appreciate him coming all the way out and trying to get a ride with me. We had a good time talking, you know, when we took our break. And I'll go back and report to his cousin how things went. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.